This is very nice color that matches, it would appear, some of the color on the outside of Food Fight too.
Yeah. Good call.
Now I heard there was some controversy about yellow tape versus other colors of tape.
So,
on your fan page.
yes, so how that works out is when we first started doing variants or two versions,
Yeah.
the way to tell them apart was by the colored tape because everything on the box was identical, including the SKU number, which we learned real quickly that was a mistake as far as the SKU number. So this one, it does say pre-sale exclusive on it, but we're like, oh, you know what? To just make the whole shipping process easier, if they go back to the colored tape, oh, yellow tape, yellow tea molding, haha, that's kind of funny. It just made sense. But what's fascinating is just how folks thought it was customs tape or that it had been tampered with. And we're like, wait, what? No.
Wow. So beautifully crafted. The packaging is in itself a work of art. Oh yeah, that's right.
like your shirt.
Yeah, the shirt is 40 years old. I think
Amazing. I love that you still have the shirt. That is absolutely incredible.
it was folded up in my closet, waiting for a moment like this. Oh yes, operator's manual with banana chewing gum. We're ready to go there. All right. You know, I have a couple of these operators. I have tons of notes and graphics and everything from 40 years ago. That
Oh my
when I was
goodness.
all the notes for when we were developing the game and things that Atari sent me. It was really just so cool to pull some of that stuff out and reminisce about it. All right.
So what is the story behind the banana?
The banana was someone at work, and by the way, there were like a lot of people with great ideas during the development of this. And the banana, somebody said, hey, wouldn't it be great if the joystick were a banana? And so I went to the store and got one of those plastic fruit bananas, cut a hole in the bottom.
The kind mom puts on the dining room table?
Yes, somebody's mom probably puts those on the table.
My mom, for sure.
And so then I filled it with epoxy and took the joystick and put it upside down, put the joystick into the bottom of the banana, waited for it to harden, and then I had a really heavy banana underneath the joystick. So when I put it in the arcade to test it, people were like, oh, banana! It was really funny and it attracted people, but the moment someone tugged on it really hard, it broke the bottom of the joystick. Just broke it completely apart.
It's too heavy.
So here we are. Nice.
So we took that into consideration with our banana. It's very
Yeah,
lightweight.
a nice light banana.
For that exact reason.
And for that exact
This has to
reason-
come off for the banana to go on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta.
All right. Some people might put it that way, some people might put it this way.
So Jonathan, can you believe it's been 40 years since this game launched?
It seems like not that long ago, but on the other hand, when I look at just this game compared to what people can play now and the power, of all the, there it goes, the power of what's happened with Moore's Law and everything, it's amazing what you can do now. So, but I still think the gameplay is really cool of this, being able to, move around the scarce resources of the piles of food, unlike a gun that has an endless supply of bullets in it or whatever. So it's different. So
Now, Food Fight was the first to use the 7500. Is that right?
Motorola 68000
Oh, 60, there you go.
16-bit microprocessor, as far as I know, was the first one. Also, some other firsts. This has instant replay, as you know, an exciting round. It repeats it because there was 8K of RAM, 64K of ROM in this, and I only needed half the RAM to control the objects on the field, and it has a random number generator. So as long as you have the random number generator, the state of the joystick and the state of the throw button, you can recreate exactly what happens, you know. And there's special music that our Patty Goodson, this musician that we hired, composed this song that went along with the instant replay. And the length of the song, the number of stanzas and everything varies depending on how long so it exactly, when he's eating the cone at the end of the instant replay, it exactly lines up with the, you know, the song. So it has anti-aliased fonts, which at the time I don't think any of the games had, you know, all the fonts had sharp edges, but these have these nice
Very smooth
edges because there's different saturations of the color that, you know, around the edges of it. So there are a lot of things that, and I had a really powerful processor to use in comparison to what was in consoles and everything else. So
you pushed it to the limit with that instant replay.
Well, it was remarkably easy to do once. Well, the only challenge of it was making sure the rack was exciting enough.
Yeah.
Like when we first put it in, and people were like, "Oh, that's boring," but then because it's exciting, it's good to watch.
Yeah, it's activated with a close call, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, a close call with the chef, a close call with food.
And is it true that the concept of Food Fight was based on a famous movie of the time?
I had seen the movie, but it's hardly based on it. I mean, there aren't any chefs running around with John Belushi there. So anyway, it was more based on, you know, my boss, the first day on the job, I said, "Hey Kevin, you know what I can do? What do you want me to do?" And he said, "I want you to come up with an idea for a video game, build it, and we'll all get rich." And I was like, "Sounds good." So I went to a bunch of arcades and of course I had been playing games too, and I thought about what would be different or whatever, and all games had fire buttons, and I thought, what else could you do with a button? And I realized throw, because I like to throw, and then throw what? Wait, food. And then the moment I realized Food Fight, I got to finish this as soon as possible because someone else must be coming up with this idea.
Yeah.
So I was just very focused for a year on getting this done. So, but that's where the idea came from.
Now, do you remember the launch date where you very first saw a Food Fight non-test in the arcades?
There were many tests before it was formally released. So it was on I've got these reports from when it was tested at pizza parlors and everything. Atari did a lot of field testing and then would send back the reports, and it was performing about the same as Millipede at the time, except that the joystick was always breaking. So the joystick was a serious problem with Food Fight when it was out on test. I think they eventually fixed it and made a different version of it, but it didn't have like a big launch that I remember. Well, actually it did. It had a press launch. So I've got some of the press releases. Apparently the Atari people sent pies to the reporters to announce the launch. They delivered a bunch of cream pies. So they did.
That's sketchy at all. It'd go over really well today, right? Who's sending me random unpackaged food?
So there was that, and it was. We went to my team went to the Arcade Operators. What is it called? AOE, this big convention that was held when they launched new video games. So we went to that in Chicago. So that was cool, being able to see, Food Fight there at a trade show. And I saw Food Fight being manufactured at Atari as well. So that was fun.
And do you remember how many they made?
It was around a couple of thousand. I don't know exactly. You're probably making more than Atari did.
We made more than Atari did.
So it was right at the kind of first crash of the
I believe
video
it
game
was
industry.
just under 2,000 uprights and 100 cocktail tables.
There you go.
I didn't even know there was a cocktail table for it. That's amazing.
100 of them. Can you imagine how many are around still?
No,
Oof.
not many.
The,
Jonathan has a couple in his garage.
no, I
He's
don't.
holding
I
on to.
don't. I have one. Of
New in
I
box.
have one of the uprights, but
Oh, do you have an
um,
upright?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
No, it's great. I got one, you know, when I was there, and I just had to replace. Purists don't listen to this part. I had to replace the CRT. It broke. I put in LCD. I know, but it is so much better. Oh my gosh, it is. You know, the CRT had burn in. It made this big static sound. Of course, you know when you turn it on.
Yep.
And it gathers dirt, you know. So the LCD is so, and the LCD is this tiny little thing. The CRT is this huge, dangerous thing. So anyway, it was fun replacing it.
And so what was it like working with Atari back then? They were pretty wild back then, those guys.
You know, there were a lot of wild things going on at every company back in those days, I would say. Look, they were very separate from we were in many ways. They did amazing work, like this artwork. You know, it was designed by Atari. I remember getting the proofs of it, and the first one had oranges, and I said, "Oh, there aren't oranges." But because we were so separate, there were things like that happening.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. The first batch of the Food Fight arcade games had the two ROMs switched for the characters, the stamps, and so the watermelons had green in the middle and red on the rinds, and Charlie Chuck had, instead of eyes with white and blue centers, they were blue with white centers. Everything was swapped. And even like only about I would say 8 or 9 years ago, the American Classic Arcade Museum had one there, and I said the ROMs are switched. So I took out the old schematic of the PC board and worked with the tech there to swap the two ROMs, and then it was good.
That's amazing.
So there was a lot of things that weren't perfectly coordinated when we were launching, but there's so much that goes into a video game too. It was my first game, so I didn't realize all the software that you would use to change the settings and to measure things. So I'd calibrate the screen and everything. So anyway, I put a lot of that in, and then you can imagine assembling a cabinet, all the drawings, all the wiring harnesses, all that stuff. It's a lot that goes into it. So, as you know, in a miniature scale, right? It's very impressive what goes into it.
Well, we think it's just a beautiful cabinet, and you guys did a great job.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And we want to thank you for helping us develop our RepliCade version. And
I did very little, but you guys did an amazing job. It's really, really great.
It was great to have you validate things as we went and help us find bugs and work them out and make the best product we can. So
it's really fun to play. It's a beautiful thing to have on the shelf. It's great.
So what's your favorite feature of the RepliCade?
Honestly, I love the fact it has HDMI out. It is just makes it. I have an 83-inch LG OLED TV, and playing this on that is really nice. So that's a really cool feature that you put in there. And there are many other great features. It's just the thing that popped into my head. All of the attention to detail, little lock, the coin door, everything is just very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad I could be here today. This is great.
No, we're really happy you're here. Wade's here, and
Yeah.
it's what's really crazy is how close we actually are to the real release date of 40 years.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So that was all
40
on
years.
purpose.
Oh, the fact that there was code written 40 years ago that's being released in a commercial product, right? I mean,
Yeah.
We'll
how
have to
often
do it
does
again
that
another
happen?
40. See, 40,
And then at 100, we'll do 100.
oh, then we won't own it anymore. So that was common law at that point, right? So.
Nolan, great seeing you guys again. Wade, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, Jonathan,
This
thank
is
you so much, and thanks for
really
making a great game.
Oh,
Just,
it was
it's
a labor
amazing. It
of
holds
love.
up so well.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Great.
Nice to meet you.
Get us on video.
It's official.
All right, let's
Oh,
get some
thanks,
signed
everybody.
units.
All right.